Good morning everyone and welcome to this TOF video. I am Andrea, export manager of the company, and today I'm gonna show you how to refurbish our Xenia Water fonts, the buttons models. Let's start by saying that in normal use condition there is no need of any kind of maintenance. But during the life cycle of the product, it's possible that due to line scale and dust, it's possible that the valves don't work correctly. So there is a need of some sort of refurbishment. Before we start the maintenance, I also suggest you to check our instruction leaflet. So in the instruction leaflet, you're gonna see all these processes explained and listed. Okay. To do the refurbishment, you need the following tools. I'm gonna show you. You're gonna need a pipe wrench, 10 mm or 0.39 inches. You're gonna need a flathead screwdriver. You're gonna need an Allen wrench, 4 mm or 0.15 inches. And then you're gonna need a food grade grease, and this grease you can find it in any kind of shops. So it's very popular. And then you're also gonna need a brush to put this grease in all the O-rings, to brush the O-rings of the valves. Let's start by closing the main water line inlet. So we're sure that there is no any more water inside the font. So I close the main valve of the water. So we are all set to start the refurbishment. Okay, we start with the Allen wrench. So we're gonna unscrew the top screws of the water fonts. So we screw the first screw, we unscrew the second screw, and then we take off the chrome-plated flange of the water font. And we put it in our working bench. Then we take off the 3 chrome-plated buttons from the top of the font, and then we are ready to disassemble the valves of the font. So we take the screwdriver, the flat screwdriver, and we unscrew the three screws. So we unscrew the 3 screws. We unscrew the first screw, we unscrew the second one, and we unscrew the third one. So once this is done, we take the pipe wrench and we unscrew the main valve. So we are going to unscrew the first valve. Then we are going to unscrew the second valve. Always take care of the main body that doesn't flip away, doesn't go away from the main font. Then once the second is done, you unscrew the third valve, and you're all set to take off. And then you're all set to take off the valves from the main body. So these are the whole valves that needs to be refurbished or changed. So you're gonna have 2 options. You can either change completely the main valve, or you can refurbish the valve, so clean it with plain water, with normal water under the sink, and then you can change the O-ring. So we have an O-ring kit which is 41.9, which is our full O-rings spare part. Or you can change completely the valve. So you can buy the 41.6, which is the complete head screw, and you can change completely the screw. So you need to check internally the font if there is any dust or if there is any impurity and you need to clean inside. The best option would be compressed air. So you have to clean it with compressed air. And as well, the head screw and valves, the best option is to clean it with, after you clean it with water, the best option is to dry them with compressed air. So we are going to change the valves completely. So we use 41.6 complete valve kit with full of O-rings. So we take the main body without the top screws. We take a little bit of grease, a little bit of alimentary grease, and with a brush. So we take the grease and then we use the brush to spread the grease on the O-rings. I'll show you how to do this. So the two main O-rings of the valve, you're gonna brush with a little bit of grease. Then you take the first valve. Be careful when you insert the valve inside the main body of the font, not to ruin the O-ring. So you go very slowly with the first valve, then you take the second brand new valve, and as well you put a little bit of, with the brush you put a little bit of grease, and you do the second valve. So you insert the second valve, and then you go with the third valve, again with a little bit of grease. Be careful with the grease and not to put any dust on the O-ring. So the O-ring always have to be very, very clean. So once it's done, you put the third valve inside the body, and you're all set to use the pipe wrench. So use the pipe wrench, and you're going to screw all the way up the first valve, and then you screw all the way up the second valve, and then you can turn all the way up the third valve as well. And then you're ready to put the screws inside the main valve. So you take the first screw, you put a little bit of grease, and you're going to put the first screw internally in the valve. The first one, then you do the second one, a little bit of grease, and you're going to insert it in the valve. And then you do the third one, the third screws, with the brush. You're gonna put a little bit of grease in the third screws, and then you're gonna put the third screws inside the main body. Then you can help yourself with a screwdriver. You can turn all the three screws until you don't see anymore the O-ring. So when the O-rings disappear, then it's fine. Okay, now we are ready to measure with our digital caliper. It's better if you have a digital caliper to do that. We are able to measure 8 millimeter or in inches, it's gonna be 0.31 inches. So you measure this, you put this measure in your caliper, then you can fix the caliper, 8 millimeters, so 0.31 inches. You're gonna measure from the bottom of the screws up to the top front of the body of the font. So you take your caliper and you measure. You're gonna insert the caliper between the space between the body of the font and the lower level of the screw, the top screw. So if it doesn't go inside the space, you need to unscrew a little bit. It's okay. So it's gonna be the correct measure. Then you do it for the other two. So this one is a little bit too much tighten, so you untighten a little bit. And then you're gonna do it with the third one. So this one as well is a little bit too untightened. You untighten a little bit so the caliper can go in this space. Once it's done, you're ready to put back the button, the chrome-plated button of the tower. So we take the flange, the chrome-plated flange, and we put it back on the top of the font. And then we take the olive wrench, 4 millimeter, and we're gonna screw and tighten back the top flange. We're gonna tighten a little bit to be sure that everything is fixed on the top side. Then we can say that this refurbishment is done. So check if the buttons work correctly. You can reopen the main inlet of water, and you can check if the font is going to be done correctly, if this refurbishment is going to be done correctly. So you're all set, and your Xenia is brand new. So thank you very much for your time, and see you next time. Bye bye. Thank you.